Hello, it's Deborah from the attic, and today I'm bringing you a new kit from my Etsy store. This is called Vintage Mail, and it's got loads of pockets, loads of images that you can stick on the front of those pockets. It's got sort of telegram style stuff going on as well, and I'm going to show you how you can make this little closure and loads of different ways that you can use this kit. So if you're new here, you're very welcome. Please subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload new videos, and it's generally every Friday evening. I have had some messages from people who have said, oh, we haven't seen you for a while, or they've caught up with my video channel. They said, oh, it's great to see you back. I haven't been anywhere. Every Friday evening I'm uploading fresh content for you. So even if you don't get a notification from YouTube, it's worth going and having a little look. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, because that makes an enormous difference to YouTube and its ever so fancy analytics. And if you're a returning friend, welcome back. I'm going to talk you through the individual pages that make up this kit, and then I'm going to show you what you can make with it. All links are provided below the video. And if you want to see content more frequently than Friday evenings, you might want to go and have a look at my Instagram page and follow me there, where I post more frequently about a whole range of different things, including life in France. The kit is made up of 10 A4 sheets. Each sheet is completely filled because that will save on the amount of printer paper that you need to use, and it's available now in my Etsy shop. I'll provide a link in the description box below this video, and I've called it Vintage Mail. The kit comes in two parts. There are 3 large envelopes and 4 smaller envelopes. So let me just show you these, and they're like pocket wallets rather than straightforward envelopes. And you see what I mean about all the extra things that I've added on as little bonuses on each of the sheets, so you've got absolutely loads of extra bits and bobs that you can use to personalise your mailing style. There are 8 of these, what I've called mailing cards, and they all feature little bits of sort of travel and ticket memorabilia as well. And I thought these might be the sorts of things that maybe late Victorians and Edwardians, so people around about the turn of the 20th century, might want to preserve or send. And then we come on to the 4 smaller envelopes. All of the envelopes have got pre-made hole protectors. This sheet has an extra little crown logo in there, and this sheet has an extra little post office label. To go with the 4 smaller envelopes, there are 9 of these mailing cards, and they have been resized, slightly redesigned, so that they will fit into the smaller envelopes. And the reason there are 9 of these is because I was able to get 9 on a page, and I wanted you to have as many as possible. There are 4 address cards on this sheet, and some additional paraphernalia to do with mailing and the post office, and some little office stamps and such like. The final sheet in the kit has 9 telegram style cards, and these can be cut out and glued onto the front of one of the smaller envelopes, or they can be popped inside one of the envelopes, and they've got some fairly generic writing on them, mostly positive thought stuff. So one of them, for example, this one here, has got birthday greetings, stop, wishing you a wonderful day, stop. Another one has logging events, date, stop. And this one over here has brilliant human being, stop. So it's just some positive thinking attached onto the front of the cards. But of course, if you wanted, you could type out your own sentiments and cut them into long strips and stick them onto the front over the top of where I've put these. And scattered throughout the whole collection, there are 14 of these mail stamp pieces of ephemera. Here are all of the elements from the kit cut out and partially constructed. So I've been putting together the little pockets in the small sizes and in the large sizes, and this is how they look. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways that we can close these using little hole protectors. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to are the images that are used in the little mailing cards. Now, these have been taken from original photographs, digitized images. So there is variation in the quality and the focus of some of these images because of their age. So some look a little bit misty, this one particularly, and some look sharper. And it's purely down to the fact that these are from very, very old photographs. So I had a choice about whether or not I should include one that had a mistier look than these sharper ones. But what was important to me was the image, and I thought this might be the sort of thing that a Victorian or Edwardian person might want to send through the post, a couple sitting together reading a newspaper or something, and the image just seemed very right for the kit. With all of my kits, I try not to give you too much fussy cutting to do. I want the kits to be as usable and as user-friendly as they possibly can be. So I tend towards straight edges rather than complicated curved edges. And I just thought I would show you a quick cheat. On some of these, I've got some curved corners, and a quick way to cut out curved corners is to use a hole punch. The one that I use the most is this little 1/2 inch hole punch. It's so versatile, and the way that I use it is just to slip it over the corner and clip it away, and then I've got a curved corner without having to work too hard with my scissors to achieve it. I also want to show you a great way of cutting out little hole protectors quickly rather than having to go around the outside with your circle. Start with the tiniest little circle in the middle, and if you've got, this is a crocodile, but if you've got anything that will punch a hole, just punch the hole out of the centre. That's the first bit, and then the second bit is, again, I use my 1/2 inch hole punch, and I go over the top, have it upside down so you can see what you're doing, and punch out, and that way you get a really smooth, even hole punch. So that's how I do them. Here I've got a variety of ways that you can use this kit, and I'm going to show you how to make this seal once I've shown you all the other little elements that I've been working with today. I've also used one of the horizontal mailing labels on the front of this pocket. Now there are 4 of these altogether. 2 work horizontally and 2 work vertically, depending on what you want for your project. And on the reverse of this one, I've used one of the extra mailing elements just to put something extra at the bottom of that pocket. In this envelope, I've taken one of the telegram messages and I've glued that onto the front. I've also cut out one of the mailing elements, the little crown, and I've glued it on the top. And on the reverse, I've taken opportunity to put another of the little mailing elements on the back. I like the idea of these being envelopes or messages that are being archived, they're being logged, they're being, they have goods receipt numbers and reference numbers. So I like the idea that these are being catalogued. On this larger envelope, I've glued one of the larger mailing cards to the front with the couple sitting very happily reading together, and I've left the reverse blank. And on this smaller one, I've used one of the smaller mailing labels, and on the reverse, I've added this goods receipt number. So maybe this has turned up in somebody's library somewhere. This is a pocket that I'm going to use to demonstrate how to do this closure mechanism. You'll need 2 of the little hole protectors, some thread, this is just some cheap embroidery floss, and some of these round adhesive foam discs. These are adhesive on both sides and they're round, so that's helpful because they're already cut out. At a pinch, you might be able to use a hole punch, a small hole punch, and punch these out of some foam if you didn't have these particular kinds of dots. So if you had some of that funky foam that's about 1/16 of an inch thick, then you could use a 1/2 inch round punch to punch a hole out, and then you could just simply glue them onto your project. I'm using these because I've had them in my stash for a long time and they're quite helpful. The first thing to do is to peel off the protective cover, and I'm going to do these one at a time. So I'll do the first one to sort of demonstrate it, and then I'll do it again so you can kind of get it into your head. And I'm using my crocodile, or you would use any hole punch that you had, to pop the hole in. Do you remember I said it's easier to do the small hole first? It really, really is. And then that will have stuck to your adhesive dot. Pop it out, and you don't need the backing, the protective backing, and glue it onto your project, hopefully in the centre. I always do things on the wonk, and then just press it down. So I'll do that again. So place your already punched hole onto the sticky bit of the foam, like that. Take your hole punch, then pop the hole out and put it on your project below the first one. Take your floss, and it doesn't matter if you tie it around the top piece or the bottom piece, but tie it in a double knot, and then you simply loop it around them both like that in a figure 8 shape and cut off any excess. I think that's a really pretty way of closing these pockets. I wanted to show you very quickly how you can grab elements from other parts of the kit and use them on some of these larger stamps. So if you wanted to use special handling, you wanted to put that on there, you could cut out the special handling from the smaller piece of ephemera, and that's then ready to be glued onto your project. The other thing that you can do is take these strips of telegram, faux telegram strips with the words on them. You can cut the words out, and then you can glue them directly onto projects, or you can glue them onto these sort of official looking stamps. And that's another fun way to use the elements in the kit. And as you know, I always like to give you loads of different ways that you can use the kit, and I try and make sure that everything will nest together and you can use them in layers and do all sorts of things. And even despite having made all of those pockets, I've got loads and loads of bits and bobs left. So there's still plenty there to play with. I hope that's given you loads of inspiration for ways that you can use this new kit. And I'm going to say thank you very much for your time. As always, thank you for watching. And until we meet again, stay safe and take care.